Disney has announced that regular character meet and greets are returning to the U.S. parks. They're coming up soon. Well, here are some do's, don'ts, and tips to help you have the best character meet and greet possible. It's time for character meet and greets to come back. Yay, we can finally get up close to Mickey and Minnie and Donald and everybody else. But it's been over 2 years. And so with that, people may be wondering what to do. It's been quite a while. So here are a number of do's and don'ts and tips to help you have the best character meet and greet possible. Whether they're a wandering character like over at Disneyland, or a character that has a set meet and greet location. Whether they have a photographer or just an attendant. And hopefully they've got a PhotoPass photographer, not a stupid box. Expect those at Walt Disney World, though, unfortunately. One thing to keep in mind, whatever the meet and greet is, look for the attendant. They are your friends. The people that are there helping the characters. If you've got questions, need to know something, or aren't sure about anything, talk to them. That's what they're there for. They're going to be able to help you. So if I don't cover something in here, they're going to be the ones you want to talk to. And of course, with anything, there are times that things change. So this is all true to the best of my knowledge at this moment in time, but there could always be changes. So please just be aware of that. So here are some do's and don'ts. The first one should be obvious. Do know who the character is. I couldn't believe over the years how many people would walk up and not know who they were meeting. They would call Donald Duck Daffy Duck. You got Chip and Dip or the Chippendales. Sorry, they're not male dancers. Even if they did dance around. Or you'd have actually people that would walk up, look at a character after waiting in line for a while and go, "Who's that?" I watched Mulan get called a geisha. Mulan is not a geisha. And just some really weird names given to the characters. Know who they are. This is not hard. If you really get in line and you really don't have a clue, there are these amazing, miraculous devices that they've got now called cell phones, and you can look it up. Have an idea of who it is you're talking and meeting, because it will help everybody, especially if you don't drop your phone. Besides, if you know who the character is, know a little bit of their story, then you know what to ask and what to talk about. If you walk up to Sleeping Beauty and you ask her where Aladdin is, she's going to look at you a little confused. On the other hand, if you ask her where Prince Philip is or where the fairies are, now you've got something to talk about. Do remember, certain characters talk and certain ones don't. Face characters, which means they don't have the big mask, can talk to you, just like I'm doing. I'm a very ugly, not great looking face character. A fur character, on the other hand, somebody like Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, Pluto, the ones that are more cartoonish and look like out of the cartoon, don't talk, at least not audibly. They will use signs and gestures and things like that to let you know what they're trying to tell you. But they can't talk out loud. So be aware, if you're walking up and you're trying to ask a character's opinion on something and they can't talk to you, it's going to be a little more difficult. But you can show them things, and I'll get into that later. Do prepare in line to meet the character. This would drive us nuts when you would have a family that had been in line, they'd been watching the families before them, and then all of a sudden it's their turn and they're like, "Oh, wait, what do we do? Get the stuff. Now we gotta, who's taking the picture? What?" You've been standing there the whole time and you haven't thought about this? This is like those people that go to a fast food restaurant and never look at the menu until they're at the register. And they slow it down and make it harder for everybody. Don't be that person, because we will be sitting there grinding our teeth and trying to figure out how to chase you off. Get your autograph books ready, or whatever you're going to have them sign. Get them out, unloaded, opened up to the page. Have your pen ready. Yes, you should have a pen for them. Sharpies are great, especially the regular Sharpies. If you can get the clickies, those are even better. Not necessarily the fat pens, they're a little awkward. There's other things they can sign to, I will talk about that later. But whatever you're going to have them autograph, have it ready to go. Know who's going to be in the picture. If you're going to have the attendant use your camera, have it ready to go and opened up and unlocked and ready to hand it to them. And ask them first or let them know you'd like them to do that. If there's a photographer there and the attendant's off, the photographer will probably use your camera as well. Ask them. Know what you're going to ask the character, know who's going to be in the picture, and be ready to go so as soon as they turn to you, you're up and ready. Don't be caught sitting there going, yeah. Speaking of that, get the kids ready too. If you've got kids with you, make sure they know who the character is. Tell them how to behave. Don't be letting your kids run wild. That would drive us crazy. You'd have families that their kids are running all over the place and through other families and pictures. And teach your kids how to wait their turn. Let them be excited. Let them wait their turn. And then let them have their moment. If they're scared, it's okay to be scared. Stand between them and the character. Don't shove them at the character if they're terrified of them. Let them have the moment and be able to approach the character in their own way. In fact, many characters are very used to kids being scared and know how to approach them. Sometimes it's good to step back and let the character do it, or just come up close to the character and stand there next to him. And let the child decide. And if you're an adult that's a bit nervous and scared, that's okay too. You're not alone. It does happen, and that's all right. They're never, ever going to force you to do something you're not comfortable with. And I'll repeat that later on. But just remember that. It's what you're comfortable with doing. With the kids, make sure they know who the character is and how to behave. Teach them. Don't step on the character. There were people that thought it was funny to step on Mickey's feet. It's not. You want me to step on your feet? Don't step on the character. Don't hit the character. Don't tackle the character. Don't grab their tail. Don't grab their ear. By the way, this goes for adults as well. The number of adults that didn't seem to know that it wasn't okay to hit the character upside the head. I'm about to hit you upside the head for hitting my friend upside the head. Come on. Treat them nicely, respectfully, the way you wanted to be treated yourself. Don't abuse the characters. That's not funny, and it can get you a nice little escort out of the park. Don't hit on the characters. Okay, this was something that creeped me out. The number of guys, and oftentimes they would be my age, who were hitting on the princesses, trying to get them to agree to meet them later, hand them their phone number, and stuff like that. Really, dude? Nobody wants you creeping on them like that. Don't. Treat them respectfully. Really, they're not going to be interested in some random sweaty dude from the middle of the park. Let me just say, get a clue if you're one of those, okay? They're not out there looking for a date. They're really not. In fact, pretty much almost all the princesses already have their princes. And unless you want this dude chasing you down with the sword or something like that, don't do it. Don't take away from other guests' moments with characters. If you're pushing your way in, or your kids are pushing their way in, or you're cutting off the photographer, and I've had that happen when the next group is stepping in my way while I'm still taking pictures, you'll get your moment. Let your kids enjoy their moment with their own way. Don't force them. And at the same time, don't intrude on the next family's moment. And don't take too long either. There's certain things, and sometimes the characters will spend extra time. Especially if it's like a Make-A-Wish family, or somebody's, really sick, or if there's a very special moment or something, they may take some more time. That's up to the character. Don't be that family that abuses your time with the character and messes it up for the people ahead of you or behind you. When you see that there's a line of people waiting, and especially if you're an outdoor meet and they're saying, we have to go in a few minutes, move it along so those other people behind you can get their moment. It's really frustrating for them when a family takes a really long time and then the character has to leave without meeting people because somebody milked it when they shouldn't have. Be respectful of others. Don't mess up other people's opportunities. At the same time, don't be loud and distracting. Don't be talking, hey, Myrtle, where are we going for dinner after? Really, nobody else wants to hear that, and if they can't hear the character talk, that's just rude. What does a typical meet and greet look like? Well, let me call it a GAP, just because I happen to like this acronym. This is not, by the way, the official acronym the park uses, but this is pretty much the system that they use. GAP, G-A-A-P, greeting, activity, autograph, photo. So you're greeting and hello. This is the first thing that happens. You're standing in line. It's your turn. The character turns to you and goes, what do you do? Well, hopefully you've prepared to meet him. You've got your autograph stuff already. You've got the camera ready. You've got the family all ready to go. This is where you get to say hi to the character. It may be a handshake. It may be a hug. If you've got huggers in the family, this is your chance to say hello. It may even be just away from a distance if you've got somebody who's scared. That's okay, but this is how you say hello. This is when you get to walk up and meet them. Be careful where you walk. Don't walk behind the character. They can't see you. They've got limited vision, especially the fur characters. If you've got somebody walking behind them, they're not going to see them, and it's very easy for them to back into them, to trip over them, or something like that. Walk in front where they can see. If you've got little ones, hold their hand, or point them out to the character so they can see them. Hey, Pluto, be aware, my little rugrat is right down there by your feet. And that way Pluto knows to look down and go, oh, look, it's a little munchkin. I don't want to crush them. It helps the characters to be aware. And as everybody comes in, kind of form a little half circle on the side. And that way the photographer can capture the moments too. Whether it's the attendant, a PhotoPass photographer, or whatever. Leave a spot for the camera, because you'll want those pictures and memories later. Trust me on that. Oh, and something that should be obvious, talk to the character. Don't talk around him. Don't look at the attendant and go, hey, will Mickey sign books? Will Mickey pose for a picture? Mickey, will you sign my book? Mickey, will you pose for a picture? Mickey, could you say a special hi? It's their birthday today. Talk to the character. Don't be one of those families, too, that just runs up, never says anything to the character, poses for a picture, and runs away. They're not a statue. Characters are people, too. Come up and talk to them and spend a moment. It will make it more fun for them and much more enjoyable and memorable for you. Don't be the run in and out bit. So that's your greeting. Next is your activity. So this is where you get to talk to them. This is where you get to ask them questions. This is where you get to show them the craft that you've made. Or maybe the item you've got for the character. Hey, Mickey, look, I've got a Mickey Mouse pin. Or you are their favorite character. Or Donald, look at the Mickey Mouse hat. And you can get some great interactions this way. This is where if you've got a child that's a little bit scared, the character will do something to help them feel more comfortable. Pluto may bend down so they can pet his nose. Pooh may get down so they can give him a hug. Mickey may get down there with a little boy and play with his car, or they may play with the child's dolls and have a few minutes of playing with the toys. That was always fun when you'd see the character and the kid bond over a toy and playing with it. Yes, they will do that. This is also a time that if you want to give a gift to the character, this is the time to do it. Is right near the beginning. No cash, nothing valuable, at least not expensive. Generally, $10 to $20 is about the limit if you want to do a gift. I do candy boxes or snacks, things like that, as a way to say thank you for meeting us. It's just a small little gesture, but you'd be surprised at some of the incredible interactions you can have just as a way of saying thank you to the character for doing this. Because they're working hard for you. Trust me, they are working hard for you. So if you want to do something small, it's very much appreciated and they will note it. They love when people bring them handmade pictures and cards and just little things like that to say thank you and we love you. And it'll make their day and they'll respond. It'll help make yours too. Next up, the autograph. Okay, hopefully you've got those autograph books ready. Now, if it's not just a book, people will do picture frames. They will do boxes with toys of the character. They will have regular books. I've seen them sign hats and shirts. Not when you're wearing it. They won't sign anything you're wearing. But if it's in a box or free, they'll sign. We would pull shirts out to hold them tight so people could sign them. Things like that, the characters will love to sign. Please keep it limited. If you've got more than 3 books, put them in a stack all opened up, because it will make it easier for the character. Because then they can hold the stack and just sign, hand a book off. Sign, hand a book off. It will make things go much quicker. If you've got 2 characters, they can actually do it as a process. Or you can have sign and then you can switch and sign again. But keep in mind, if you've got more than 4 books, you might want to consider consolidating those down a little bit. Maybe a family autograph book or something. I had one time I was working at one of the dinners, and this lady came up, and no joke, she had a stack of books like this. And it was like, you do realize that there are other people that would like to meet Mickey, and you are now taking up 10 minutes just for him to sign autographs. This is the be considerate of others things. Keep it reasonable. Keep it easy. And again, have a pen. They will probably have a pen available, but it's always nice if you've got one. And Donald loves those Mickey Mouse pens. And then last, the photo. Now, get everybody in the picture. If you really don't want PhotoPass to take your picture, they won't. They'll be happy to use your camera. The attendant can use your camera, but get everybody in there. And honestly, it's not going to cost you any more to look at the PhotoPass picture later and then decide maybe you do want it. But have some fun. Get everybody in. You don't want that picture 10 years down the road. Oh, Grandpa was there, but he was taking the picture, and so we don't have him in any. Don't be that. Get everybody in there. Hand the camera off. Assume a nice pose. Listen to the character attendant or watch the directions of the character. They'll tell you where to stand and how to get together. They'll let you know if somebody's behaving. Don't stand behind the character and try to do bunny ears or dumb little gestures. No. Take a nice picture with them. Listen to the directions. They'll tell you where to stand, how to stand to get a nice picture. They'll take them quick. They'll oftentimes get your camera first and then the PhotoPass. I had a whole routine I had set up where my attendants would have the guest cameras, and it would be kind of a, okay, everybody look there at your camera. Look over here at Mickey's camera. We would boom, boom. 1, 2, and then I go boom, boom, boom. And we were quick. Let them be quick. Smile, look at the right camera where they're telling you, and that way you can get your good pictures and not take a lot of time. If you want special groups for the pictures, ask ahead of time. Oftentimes, though, could become very confusing and take a lot of time. We understand if you want a picture of just the kids with the character. We understand if you want a picture of just mom and dad with the character. Ask, they're probably going to say okay. But when you've got a group of 7 people, and you get the big group, and then you have each individual person, and then you have the couple, and then you have the kids, and then you have, and it just starts taking time. And trust me, after about 30 seconds to a minute of this, the photographer's just going, and they're not even going to look at the camera as much because you're abusing the time for everybody else. We're just shooting to get you out of there. And I have seen families that really abuse this, where we just start moving them along and not taking the pictures because they were abusing it so much. The Brazilian tour groups are famous for that. Oh, they would drive us nuts. Be reasonable about the number of pictures and who you want in the pictures. But they will do specials, and especially if there's a special event, a birthday, somebody's first visit, tell them. They want to know that. And if the box is there, it's just taking random timed photos. Hopefully you'll get something good. All of that to say, the biggest do, have fun. They're there for kids of all ages to let them have a good time to experience the magic that is Disney. It is something that anybody and everybody can have a good time, even if they're scared and nervous. Again, I want to reiterate, they are not going to make you do anything you're uncomfortable with or the kids are uncomfortable with. Especially with the time of COVID, if you're not comfortable shaking hands or hugging a character because you know other people have been doing it, then don't. Stand a couple feet away and say, hey, Mickey, how are you doing? It's good to see you. And just let them know, I'm a little more comfortable over here just because I want to make sure we don't pass anything on. You don't even have to say that. Just stand there and they will get the hint. They'll have an idea, they'll wave you over and probably stand you right there, and then talk to you with a couple feet in between. That's okay. They'll never make you do something you don't want to do or you're not comfortable with. And that's the biggest thing. Be comfortable, have fun, enjoy it. It's a special time. Get those pictures, get everybody in it, and enjoy one of the best things about Disney. Meeting the characters that you've been watching in the movies and seeing them come to life. So there are a bunch of do's and don'ts and tips and tricks for meeting characters. Did I miss something? Do you have something that's worked great for you that I just blanked on? Let me know in the comments. Share it with everybody so they can have the best interaction possible. Are you looking forward to meeting somebody? I'd love to hear that too. Please don't forget to check the description. There's links in there to merchandise, to fan pages, to equipment I use, to my Patreon, to all sorts of stuff. You'd be shocked what's there. Go read the description. And don't forget to hit that like button as well. Share this video on all the places. Everybody you know that's going to be meeting characters, share the video. It's good stuff. Trust me. And thank you so much for subscribing. We're on our quest for 30,000 subs. Help us get there. Thank you to my financial supporters, the ones who make this possible. There's a bunch of stuff that I tried to share with them behind the scenes. If you want to know more, just read the description. Thank you so incredibly much for watching. God bless. Disney has announced that normal character... The people that are there with the character, if you've got questions, answers... You've got the camera ready. You've got the family all ready to go. You've got the dog barking in the background. Yeah, my dog's going crazy. Hey, Pluto, be away, my little rug... Be away? No, don't be away. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to know about contact information, fan pages, merchandise, and more, please be sure to check the description below. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to know when I have new ones, well, make sure you hit that subscribe button right up there. And if you want to see another one of my videos, well, I've got a great one for you right here. And a huge thank you to these wonderful people here who support me on Patreon and with YouTube memberships. They get behind the scenes information, special perks, and more. If you'd like to know more about that, well, make sure you check that button right there. Thank you so much.